We are less than a week away from the release of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and the hype isn't going down anytime soon. This is looking like one of the greatest Dragon Ball games to ever be made, and even the biggest anime game of the decade. So many fans are so hyped to get their hands on the game to play, and I don't blame them because I can't wait any longer either. We've seen so much about the game and even learned a lot about it in such a short amount of time. But there is a portion of the game that hasn't been talked about that much, and I believe it should have been one of the main selling points of the game because of how big of a feature it is. That feature is online. Online PvP is going to be one of the primary ways that the majority of the player base will be experiencing Sparking Zero. This is how we'll be able to play with our friends, run events for our communities, set up tournaments, and so much more. Online is going to be where majority of us are going to be playing, so it's so important that it runs well. Now I know we'll also have custom battles, which is going to be a very huge part of this game too, and I can't wait to experience all the what if stories that everybody's going to make. But I think it's fair to say that most players are excited to overall experience both modes the most, so we need both of them to provide great experiences. This is where my worry for Sparking Zero begins, because we haven't heard enough about the overall online 4, and we don't even know if the netcode is going to be good. So far we got a trailer that dropped a few weeks going over some of the online features we'll have access to, and we also seen online gameplay through a showcase at Tokyo Game Show. Now during the showcase we got to see matches between well-known Japanese fighting game players, VTubers, and I believe some actors as well. Now from this showing, the overall connection really didn't look too bad. I did see a few hiccups at times, but nothing too significant that I think it looks terrible. I'm sure with it more than likely being delay-based netcode, this is something that's just going to happen because it's not consistent, as well as that we could expect a bit of caked-in delay when playing online. Nothing new, this is something that we always experience with delay-based netcode, but it is annoying, especially for someone like me that's been playing games with rollback netcode for the past few years now. Now something that I wanted to make sure to point out is that we have to keep in mind that these players are literally playing in the same building and even in the same room, so their experience is going to be completely different for how majority of us are going to be experiencing the online for Sparking Zero. Majority of us will be experiencing online by having to play people from state to state, coast to coast, and even country to country. There's going to be a lot more varied experience for us in comparison to what we've been seeing in these showcases, so we still don't know how it's really going to be once we get our hands on the game. This is a problem because this leaves the player base in the dark about such a critical feature when Bandai and Spike has honestly been pretty transparent about everything else regarding Sparking Zero. Honestly, I wish that this is one of the elements that they were very open about for us, but for the time being, we just have to hope that it's good enough once the game releases. Now, I don't expect anything like rollback netcode to be implemented or anything remotely close because arena fighters aren't at a point where I believe the core player base cares enough about it to advocate for it. Fighting games just recently started pushing the rollback agenda back during the pandemic, so I think it's still going to take some time before anime fighters start to consider implementing it in the future. So you guys are probably wondering, why am I even mentioning this if I feel this way? I'm bringing up the conversation of netcode because my hope is that at the bare minimum, the netcode being used for Sparking Zero is going to be good enough for us to enjoy for years to come. Like you guys may not know, but there are huge events that content creators want to host for the community as soon as Sparking drops, but we need good online for these things to run properly. My hope is that Bandai has learned from all of the netcode issues that we've all experienced through all of the previous anime games that they've made, like Xenoverse 2, Fighters, Naruto Storm, and so many more. As fans of these franchises, we all put up with the rough online experiences because we love these games so much. But my hope is that they stop taking that love for granted and actually invest into a proper online for us to enjoy these games, and especially at least this one for the one time. Now, I already know regardless of the netcode, players are still going to be playing Sparking Zero online. Shoot, I am too, but I still want to put out this message to help voice for the community that we do want a better online experience just in case we don't receive it with this game upon release. If the netcode is rough on launch, we can use a video like this to help push Bandai to get it fixed and make the experience much better for us. This can also start a wave of people who haven't discussed about the netcode yet and also make their own videos about it as well. But if the netcode is already good once the game dropped, then this just ends up being a yap session for no reason, and honestly I'll be happy with that. I'd rather just waste my time making this video and they actually provide a great online experience for us instead of us having to deal with the rough online experience and not say anything at all. I just want the best for Sparking Zero as it's going to represent the anime gaming community for the next foreseeable future, and I feel if this game can set the standard of improving all aspects of anime games, especially their online, then we could be in good luck for a future of better anime games for other IPs as well. We also need things like crossplay, which I don't think exist in any anime game ever. This is something that the devs had actually commented on and admitted that it won't be available on release, but they didn't say it was off the table. Implementing crossplay for Sparking Zero would be great because it would allow the entire community to come together on all platforms and enjoy the celebration game for the Dragon Ball franchise. It sucks that all the players won't be able to experience every amazing custom battle that is created in Sparking because of the different platforms, or not being able to enter into tournaments because no one is running one for the console that they play on. It just divides the community up a bit too much in my opinion, and having crossplay can easily fix this for us all. I know this is probably a shot in the dark for asking for good netcode and crossplay, but it's something that should be a standard for anime games at this point. I'm tired of us missing out on features that all of our games should have when a lot of this stuff has been industry standard for years. Implementing features like this can drastically change the future for Dragon Ball games, and they can also make these games essentially a lot more available to people who want to get into them. I hate having to get a version of the game and then buy it on a different console to play with a bunch of other friends because we have no other way of playing with each other, and also worrying about if the online is going to be good once I get an anime game. It's just such a frustrating experience that I think that we finally should be able to solve this, at least with Sparking Zero, or hopefully right after. We really need changes like this for the game and for the future of anime games, because it'll just overall just make the experience for playing anime games a lot smoother. And I definitely think Sparking Zero should be the one to start that, since this is going to be one of the biggest anime games again of the decade, and one that everybody is super excited for and ready to celebrate. But like I said though, I'm still super excited for Sparking Zero next week, and I'm going to be making a lot of content covering this game. I just want the release of this game to be as smooth as possible, and I hope it has a promising future that not only impacts the Dragon Ball community, but the anime community as a whole. Other than that, that's all I have to talk about for Sparking Zero. Honestly, this is probably going to be the last video before the game releases, and once the game releases, we're going to be going into overdrive with a bunch of different content ideas I have for the game. If you guys are super excited for that, remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I want all of you guys to join in on the excitement for Sparking Zero with me, as I'll be hosting custom lobbies with a lot of my viewers, running streams, running sets, and even probably being a part of tournaments and stuff. So if you guys are excited about that, be sure to join the Soul Society family by subscribing to the channel, and also join the Discord, which will be linked in the description. I appreciate all you guys and your love and support, and always remember to believe in you that believes in yourself. I'll see you guys in the next one.